More and more speculation about the president's mental and physical state, as well as what that could look like over the next 4 years. Let's bring in board-certified neurologist Dr. Russell Surasky. Doctor, thank you so much for making the time for us. Let's get right to it. For the last 4 years, anybody who popped up and said that there is a clear decline mentally and physically with Joe Biden was called a conspiracy theorist. It's not that case any longer. In your opinion, what do you think that we're seeing here beyond just age?
Well, putting all politics aside,
Sure.
it's really been very distressing to watch this degree of cognitive decline, the confusion and the rambling and the sudden loss of concentration in the middle of a sentence, the sudden halting of his speech, the absence of his facial animations. These are all the characteristic indicators of dementia. It's not about jet lag or a cold because it's not just about those 90 minutes. And look, I'm sure it's humiliating to have had a distinguished career in government service and now to be on the world stage, in this condition. But the electorate must recognize that what they're seeing, and I know that this is only going to get worse. And so for that reason, I truly believe he needs to pass this along to somebody else.
Former New York Times reporter Alex Berenson is out with a new piece titled, quote, "A Neurosurgeon Diagnoses Joe Biden." And the piece reads, quote, "He has undoubtedly Parkinson's disease and is increasingly suffering from Parkinson's dementia. The signs are unmistakable: his shuffling gait, the absence of associated movements," and of course the list goes on. Doctor, I've been actually saying that it's Parkinson's for some time. I noticed that the president has also taken to wearing his sunglasses more because light sensitivity could also be a symptom of advanced Parkinson's disease. Your reaction?
So while I do understand why certain physicians are opining that this may be Parkinson's syndrome or Parkinson's-like disease, I simply don't see the clinical indicators to make that call right now. Usually you see significant asymmetry in somebody who's having Parkinson's disease in terms of their ambulation, in terms of their strength and walking and tremors and so forth. But look, there's been no communication from President Biden's personal physician, and that's a big problem. Dr. O'Connor, since his last physical back in February, and during that physical, they inexplicably skipped all the cognitive testing, even though documents showed that he actually did see a neurologist at that time. And I can tell you, choosing to skip a cognitive test in this type of situation
Right.
would be highly unusual. He has a history of 2 brain aneurysms, one that required neurosurgery. He has a serious cardiac arrhythmia, both strong risk factors for developing dementia. And given that he's the oldest president in history and running for re-election, it's just inconceivable to me that his neurologist would just skip cognitive testing and the brain imaging. And the ongoing silence from Dr. O'Connor is very concerning to me.
So whether he has Parkinson's or he has dementia, I don't think it matters as much, right? This is a high stress job, okay, which can compound the symptoms of any number of different things. What could the next 4 years bring? And as you point out, he'd be 86 at the end of his second term. Is there any doubt in your mind that he could is there any sense that he could possibly serve as President of the United States for another term?
Well, look, the president will have some better moments from time to time. Yes, his cognitive fitness will wax and wane, but he will have better times. But unfortunately, this condition will only get worse. And based on insider accounts from people who love the president very dearly, those good moments have become fewer and further apart. And again, for that reason, I truly believe that he does need to pass this along.
Dr. Russell Surasky, thank you so much for your perspective tonight. It's certainly an important one, the medical perspective there.
Thank you.